Hello, I'm Matthew Crabb from QA Financial, and I'm here with Eran Kinsbruner, who is Chief Product Evangelist for Perfecto by Perforce. Eran has just launched his new book. He's edited this book with contributions from experts from a number of different firms. It's called Accelerating Software Quality, and the subtitle is Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence in the Age of DevOps. So, Eran, what's the gap in our knowledge that this book fills, and who is it for?
That's a great question, Matt, and thank you for having me. So I think that the market up until today reached a certain level of maturity around DevOps and software delivery acceleration. But when you look at where we are today, there is a significant amount of activities and use cases in DevOps that are still manual, how to process, involving big data, that without sophisticated technologies involving AI and machine learning, teams are simply stuck and sometimes are also exposed to business risks. Here, AI and machine learning from a standpoint of automated code reviews, automated deployment, trending, big data analysis, code impact analysis, AI ops, all of these things coming on top of what we already achieved up until today closes gaps in efficiency, in automation, and also in making better decision making towards the future roadmap of these products, of their products.
Okay, good. Now you've gathered, as I mentioned, together authors from different firms to contribute different articles, different chapters. So, for example, Sea Lights, Test AI. Are these companies, these tool vendors, saying different things about the potential of AI and how it should work, or are they essentially saying very much the same thing? I mean, how do you pull these different chapters together for this book?
It took almost, I would say, a year to do that. And each and every chapter in the book touches, in my mind, a unique use case, a unique problem that these vendors come with their point of view to resolve. So you mentioned Sea Lights. Sea Lights, together with myself, wrote a chapter on test impact analysis and quality governance. And what does it mean? As you do continuous testing and you run so many number of times a day, your test automation, you're gathering a huge amount of test data. How do you make sense out of this data? How do you slice and dice and classify all the issues so you can decide what is your next regression cycle? What is blocking you in your build acceptance testing? What is breaking your builds, your CI builds? So this was one thing. You mentioned test.ai. Test.ai are talking about testing games. Gaming test automation today is almost impossible with traditional tools because there are so many dynamic things happening on the screen. And by the way, the games are utilizing AI machine learning themselves, right, to predict things and stuff like that. So Tariq King, in his chapter on testing with AI or the state of the art in AI in testing, is really giving you a prescriptive approach to testing game application using AI methodologies. So all in all, if you look at the book, it consists of 26 chapters, and almost each and every chapter talks about a unique use case, a unique challenge in software development and testing. It's not just for testing, it's also development. But at the end of the day, when you collect all of them, they aggregate a good solution or a good guidelines for improving quality in DevOps.
That's great. I mean, one of the chapters I found really interesting was talking about how AI and machine learning tools can see things more quickly than humans, and this has been tested. You know, for example, scoring the trustworthiness of a website by being able to look at combinations of language and images. And that brings us to the wider debate about AI, and I'd like your opinion on this. The impact of AI on all of us. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do we worry about the consequences of AI to do things better than us? But of course, it depends exactly, you know, who's in charge of the tools. But what's your view? What's your view of the real potential?
So I will answer that with my view and also what the market is saying, because I've read throughout developing this book, I've read so many researches made by Deloitte and Forrester and Gartner, and they are all saying the same thing. To mature the DevOps and bring it to the next level, you need these smarter technologies. Our human brains and our current technologies are good up until a certain level, and then they are becoming a bit limited in what they can accomplish. So I believe that we are marching towards a mixed future of traditional tools, code-based, and standard open source solutions that everyone is using today, plus a mix of AI and machine learning solutions aiming to solve specific use cases. So think about a website today. A website today can be the QA Financial website, and the QA Financial website is being tested by traditional Selenium scripts. But you want to engage with your audience, and you developed a chatbot, okay? A smart assistant that launches on top of the web. Today, testing such chatbots with traditional tools is becoming quite complicated and sometimes even impossible. In this book, I gathered the founders of Botium from Germany, Austria, and they developed a machine learning solution to test chatbot. So this is kind of a nice way of looking at a complete plan for delivering a smart website that has an AI component in it using Selenium from the current, let's say, standard toolchain, and Botium AI tools that kind of complements the entire website testing plan, if you like, but comes with a more mature approach. So just to conclude that, I don't think that AI and machine learning are going to take our jobs away. It's going to definitely impact our efficiency. If we embrace it and we are able to integrate the tools into the standard existing tools today, it will be a success. If someone will come and say, okay, AI machine learning tools are here to replace everything, this will be a mess. You don't need to replace something that isn't broken. You want to make room for AI tools where there is a need, where there is a challenge that you cannot solve traditionally. That's the magic here.
Yeah, such as accelerating software delivery, for example.
Exactly.
Okay, and of course, we need to ask where we can buy the book. Where can we buy it?
So that's the $1 million question, even though it doesn't cost $1 million. The book is being sold on Amazon. It comes from the community towards the community. For the month of October, the book is in a lower price because we just launched it. So it's like in the bare minimum price. So you can get it on Amazon in both Kindle format or a paper book.
Eran, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.